Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Winter is Coming Wednesday. This is episode 16, and this is going to be a special episode, and I don't know at what point in the year I usually do this, but I do usually do a recap, and this is my box. It says Winter is Coming Wednesday 2022. I have not opened it. Usually when I am done with a project or projects, I just open the lid, toss it in. So we are going to go through my stash together. Hub had asked how many Christmas cards I had, and I said, I just don't know. So let's see where we're at. I know that some of the earlier ones I was doing multiples of, and I did a bunch of layouts, and I may not have put them all together, so perhaps I will put those aside to finish up. So I do have from last week, I do recall doing this one, and it is looking very finished. I even have the envelope with it. I don't own the stamps. This is just paper and then the holly leaves, and the inside isn't stamped yet, so I will probably do a little bit of stamping inside. I may separate these into groups. I have these two are fronts only, so I need to put them on bases, so I'll probably get a bunch of bases out. So I will be piling them up. Now this one was used, I actually made this in a class and I did not get permission, but it is all current products except for the bedazzled. So this one is completely finished. I thought I had an envelope, but I don't see one here with it. So that's that one. Really early in the year I did this lovely pink. Oh no, this one actually is a carryover. Believe it or not, I had one card returned. Our realtor retired and moved to Montana, and this card I sent to him last year and it was returned to me. So I had written a bunch of notes inside, but you will see that I actually redid it. So this is last year's paper, and using the word dies that I believe are still current, and the silver is still current. Same with the trim here, and oh, same with the AB snowflakes. So that one, though not a Winter is Coming Wednesday, is definitely going to be given. I'll set this one off to the side. I don't have a lot of room here unless I back up my camera way up. I have a stash of envelopes already here for me to decorate. Some of them are decorated. I see that I have some, and I'll match them up. You know, a generic bows with green would be something I could easily reuse, and I have a few of these. This one has a water droplet on it, so what's interesting is that's where the address would go. So I would put this aside as a possibility of using, because by the time it gets mailed to the person, it's probably going to have even more spots. So, stash of envelopes. I see a few Thanksgiving. This one, I did a demo of how I made this one. It is on a base, so I'm going to take it out. It's not on a base, it's just a front. So this focal is all finished, and it is not attached to the final layer, and it is also not on a base. So it is going to be put with these guys. And as I get finished with my piles, I'll then add them up. I have a wonderful start where I showed you how I did this herringbone pattern. So this particular one is in a partial state, but looks pretty rough to me, so I might not work on that today. I might just do bases today. I will actually start to revisit these, and I will pile them in fully completed, partially completed, really rough, and we'll be working on those. Now this one here is my mistake. I had received suggestions. This one was actually made in a class and I was visiting with somebody, so it was not a Winter is Coming Wednesday, but that's so finished, but totally wrong. So I haven't really decided what I will do in this case. One thing I could do, looking at this again, is redo a sentiment, pop off this sequin and put a sentiment going the other direction, and then also add another piece of white, and that's where I will write my message. So I think I will be able to salvage this card by adding white to the bottom and doing a new sentiment flipped, and that way it looks like I intended it to be. So that one needs some work, more than just the base. Put that off in the to be worked on pile. Oh, and I do have a beautiful envelope that already goes with it. What have I got here? I have a few other card class cards that are totally finished. Here's one with some trees. I don't think anything on here is current, so I won't share this one with you. I will set it off to the side. This one is finished. This was the one that I did with the little, I covered the scene with the animals. So that one is completely ready to go. It just needs an envelope. I think this is another card class one. I will say, so I did, this is a card class one, and I did just do my unboxing. Because of this card, I actually bought the dies. They were, I didn't buy them. They were a celebration free item. So now I have the birch. I have two of these that are card fronts only. In fact, I believe just like the other one, they aren't tacked down. So there's two more. They're going to go in the, they just need bases, so I will take them out. I always say that I am going to, and this actually is going to go on a base, so this white that I used can actually go back in my pile. I also do have very vanilla base material, so I could put this back in my stash, and this will get put on a cream base or very vanilla base. So that's going to go in the needs to go on a base pile. Now we're hitting some of the older ones. So I have these really nice, clean and simple ones that are finished. This one being a Thanksgiving and that one being a Christmas one. So these are finished. I even have one envelope here. So that one is 100% done. Another thing that I put on my cards that I highly recommend that you do, that once they are all finished, I stamp on the back. I have the, if I'm going to sell the cards, I need to put a Stampin' Up copyright stamp. If I am going to give these, which is what I'm going to do, is be giving them, I won't be selling them. I don't need to add that, but I do have my own signature handmade by with my website. Alright, so I have a card class that is a fun fold, and I haven't finished it. I knew I was going to make it into a Christmas one, so I just did all the base pieces. So I need to come up with a sentiment and maybe a stamp for in here. I even wouldn't mind doing something here with a piece of white paper. So this one is rough, needs work. I have some card fronts done. I want to convert these both to Thanksgiving cards. So I can either finish them as is, but I did do them as winter is coming, so I will try to convert those with some sort of sentiment work. And those just need stamped. I don't know if I've talked about these napkins. I don't think I talked about them in a Winter is Coming Wednesday, but they're in here to be used at some point. They are napkins from Libby. I think she got them at the Dollar Tree. So this is a pile of mix and match materials from early on, maybe January, February. So I am going to need to do a lot of work on these. I have bits and pieces, probably enough to make 3 or 4 cards. So I am going to put this over in the must do a lot of work pile. Nope, and I have one more scene here that I need to do a sentiment and put it on a white base of some variety, so I'm going to put that in that pile. Yeah, I have two of them, so here's this one. Two of those. And those should be pretty easy because I will probably do the pine boughs or the wintry 3D directly on a base. This one is actually Winter is Coming Wednesday episode 1 from January, and it uses the Celebration VW bug, and it is done. I could color the VW bug. Usually when I'm writing in the notes and I use my Stamparatus to do the lines and my address, if I haven't colored these, I always have my blends and colored pencils handy. In this case, I will probably use the blends. I could, the VW bug I still have, so I could grab that and from my retired pile and do a stamp on the inside. But it is pretty well ready to go, so I'm actually going to put it in this, which is the completed cards. So hopefully at the end of this I'll get a tally. This was the Sunny Seasons Greetings from Sunkissed, all finished and ready to go without an envelope. Here is a completed card, front, back, and envelope. Everything ready to go. I just need to stamp. I have white or craft white that I stamped my handmade stamp on the back. Let's see. Most of everything else in here below these three are just bits and pieces of extras that I have. I have been, look at this, I've been collecting up a variety of bows. I actually did a bow episode, and these are the bows that I made, and I talked about adding thread in loops underneath, and then I colored them 3 ways. So I will be pulling these out to use for projects as needed. I've got a Thanksgiving card base, and look, here's where I stamped and it was crooked, so I just flipped it over and stamped straighter on the front. Another Thanksgiving, and 3 Thanksgivings, and then one that is not done. Interesting, so I get to use this for something. I could save it for another Winter is Coming Wednesday, perhaps. Alright, so I've got my piles, and I'm going to guesstimate. I have to get out a piece of paper instead. So I have this book that I bought. It is from Staples, I believe, and you can write in this book. For instance, these are some color combinations that I got from a YouTuber, Color My World, and I have put them, done samples of them. So now if I am done with these pages, because I've already done what I needed to do, the particular pens are just regular pens you can buy, but they are special pens that are truly erasable. So I like this idea because then I'm not killing trees and I'm not throwing away paper all the time. And when I am done with it, I can take a picture of it. I have a phone app that then takes this, and it automatically will take my writing, whether it's cursive or not, and it will convert it to text, and it will send it to me in my OneNote as well as text in an email. So I was going to show you that this erases. So I have to find where the water is at. So that's one way you can erase it. Here's the pen. It is just a regular pen. It's called the Erasable Friction, Frixion by Pilot. And if I didn't want to wipe it off with a rag, I just wanted to erase, like maybe it was 7 color combinations, this white end is an eraser, and it erases perfectly. I remember erasable pens when I was a kid, maybe in high school, but they always left the paper colored. But this is special paper that has a treatment, so it just wipes right off. So anyhow, very, very interesting. I am going to use this to tally. We've got Christmas and Thanksgiving. I haven't even started any New Year's. Okay, I am going to count this one that came back to me. I think this was a Winter's Coming Wednesday 2 years ago, maybe. So both of these count. Here's the most completed pile. These are fronts that need bases. These two I'm not sure if I will try to make Thanksgiving. They could actually work for either. They even could work for New Year's, so I'll put those two as neutral ones. These will be Thanksgiving. Okay, those are all the bases, or that need bases. I have this pile over here. And I have my really rough ones. This one probably can make, I'm going to guess that this one can make 4. I'm seeing enough materials for 4 Christmas. This one is a Christmas. I don't know. What do you guys think? Can this be Thanksgiving? Green and gold. I think it's going to be Christmas. Christmas. And this one's a very rough Thanksgiving. Alright, so here's where I'm at. 19, 9, and 2. Christmas is doing really good. I need to, probably Thanksgiving I will want to send about 15. 13 to 15. Christmas, I think I did 24 last year. I'll say 15. So there's our goal. So that is the summary of where I am at for this year, and hopefully showing my process of how I work through the season and work through getting these prepared well in advance of Christmas, so that when it does come time, I usually mail them out between the 10th and the 14th of December. I'll mail them out, and by the time I do that, I want to have them 100% ready to go. So I think I'm not going to take any more of your time, and if you saw any favorites, I would love to know, and let me know if you have any special process that you follow. Are you very strict and make a card and complete the inside and the envelope when you make them? Libby pretty much does that, and I just have never been able to bring myself to do that. I try really hard, and you can see that these all get finished to varying degrees as I make them, and I am very inconsistent, but I'm consistently inconsistent. So that concludes episode 16. It is just a mid-year check of where I'm at. I'm doing really well. I'm probably 3/4 of the way done making Christmas and Thanksgiving and haven't done any New Year's cards. So you might see a run of New Year's cards. I'm not really sure how many people I would send those to. So I might just send them to my just immediate family and card making peeps that I know would appreciate a New Year's card. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.